Hey, so somehow nothing really interesting going on in the news today. I guess that happens sometimes. Might be able to think of something later. It was a good day on a personal level, making some good progress with my special lady, Jenny. Um, Planning on moving out to Seattle soon to be with her. Relationships are weird right now, just COVID and the state of the world and travel, financial paradigm shifts, just one thing after another. But love prevails, or as Milan Kundera wrote, love in the time of cholera. I think that was Kundera. Life is elsewhere is better. So, I'm not going to get too much into my personal relationship stuff because that's not what this is about. And I'm not really in a position to give people relationship advice. Well, I mean, I guess I am because everybody else that I see with relationships does them pretty fucking awful. Well, this mic is really low. Go louder, Mike. Go louder, Mike. Go louder, Mike. Alright, so I got this book here. It's called Milton's Poetical Works, Standard Library Edition. I did not steal it from the library. I got it in an antique store. Let's see when it was published. Oh wow, it's a 1892 copy. I'm not sure when the first print of that is. I think it's 1700s. Generally prefaces are good, but this is just some biography of some dead dude. So the first book is Paradise Lost. This is a connection of Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, and a number of other poems and sonnets. Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained are his two most significant works. I've read Paradise Lost years ago, but don't really remember it. I'm almost certainly not going to read the whole thing. There's a preface, but I don't give a shit about that either. Introduction. There's a real introduction by the author, some bullshit. Alright, there we go. Paradise Lost, book 1. That was some bullshit. Some asshole academic who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about saying this is what this book is about. The first book that proposes first in brief, okay, so there's notes here, fuck the notes, of man's first disobedience and the fruit of that forbidden tree whose mortal taste brought death into the world and all our woe, with loss of Eden, till one greater man restore us and regain the blissful seat. Sing, heavenly muse, that on the secret top of Oreb or of Sinai didst inspire that shepherd who first taught the chosen seed, in the beginning how the heavens and earth rose out of chaos, or if Sion Hill delight thee more, and Siloa's brook that flowed fast by the oracle of God. I thence invoke thy aid to to my adventurous song. That with no middle flight intends to soar above the Aeonian Mount, while it pursues things unattempted yet in prose or rhyme. Milton is a genius writer. And chiefly, thou, O Spirit, that dost prefer before all temples the upright heart and pure, instruct me, for thou knowst, thou from the first wast present, and with mighty wings outspread, dove-like satst brooding on the vast abyss, and madst it pregnant. What in me is dark? Illumine. What is low? Raise and support. That to the height of this great argument I may assert this eternal providence, and justify the ways of God to men. Say first, for heaven hides nothing from thy view, nor the deep tract of hell. Say first, what cause moved our grandparents in that happy state, favored of heaven so highly, to fall off from their Creator and transgress his will for restraint, lords of the world besides, who first seduced them to that foul revolt. Basically, he's talking about man fucking up what God gave him. The infernal serpent, he's the culprit, the devil. He it was whose guile, wit, cunning, charm, stirred up with envy and revenge, deceived the mother of mankind, Eve. What time his pride had cast him out from heaven, Garden of Eden, with all of his host of rebel angels. Oh, you might be talking about Lucifer too, by whose aid aspiring to set, he's talking about the snake, to set himself in glory above his peers, he trusted to have equaled the Most High. Satan thought he was as good as God. Kind of like how Liam Gallagher thinks he's John Lennon. Raised in impious war in heaven and battle proud, don't take a shot at the king. With vain attempt, him the almighty power hurled headlong flaming from the ethereal sky, with hideous ruin and combustion down to bottomless perdition, there to dwell in adamantine chains and penal fire. Who durst defy the omnipotent to arms? So that's God casting Satan down to earth to fuck our day up if he can trick us. And as the story goes, he did, because Eve's kind of a bitch and Adam's a pussy. But really, it's the snake. People are alright. Devil's a tricky dude. 9 times the space that measured day and night. To mortal men he with his horrid crew lay vanquished, rolling in the fiery gulf, confounded though immortal. But his doom reserved him to more wrath. For now the thought both of lust, happiness, and lasting pain torments him. Round he throws his baleful eyes, that witnessed huge affliction and dismay, mixed with obdurate pride. I think that was a GRE word, I don't remember it though. And steadfast hate. At once, as far as angels can, he views, I think can means something different in 18th century England, or wherever the fuck Milton was from. At once, as far as angels can, he views this dismal situation, waste and wild, a dungeon horrible on all sides round, the spherical earth, not the Kyrie Irving question everything paradigm. respect to Kyrie. The dismal situation waste and wild, a dungeon horrible on all sides round. As one great furnace flamed, yet visible from those flames no light, but rather darkness visible. It's dark and hell is hot, served only to discover sights of woe, regions of sorrow, doleful shades where peace and rest can never dwell, hope never comes, that comes to all, but torture without end. Still urges and a fiery deluge, fed with ever-burning sulfur unconsumed. Such place eternal justice hath prepared for those rebellious, here in their prison ordained in utter darkness, and their portion set, as far removed from God and light of heaven, as far from the center thrice to the utmost pole. Oh, how unlike the place from whence they fell. There the companions of his fall, overwhelmed it with floods and whirlwinds of tempestuous fire. Sounds like L.A. He soon discerns, and weltering by his side, one next himself in power and next in crime, long after known in Palestine and named Beelzebub, to whom the archenemy, and thence in heaven called Satan. Told you. With bold words, breaking the horrid silence, thus began. Alright, so that's a big book. Paradise Lost is basically the story of how the devil fucked up God's world. Paradise Regained is basically Jesus dying for our sins. That book is a dangerous book for those who interpret the Christian Bible incorrectly, and I'm just going to say incorrectly because it is just factually incorrect. But what I was trying to do with that was make comparisons to the modern generation, the undereducated community who do understand religion, but don't understand the message. They see fire and brimstone, but they don't see the why. They feel like they're being punished when it's really Satan was sent to Earth to show Earth what evil is. Lucifer is the light bringer. Yes, he's a bad guy in the story. Yes, he coerces people into doing bad things. But if you have faith in God, you'll make the right decisions. Alright, fuck off.